favorite movie of all time, Batman versus Joker, good versus evil. It was always a conflict between those two. Whether your mind state or your mindset is on Caitlin Clark being your protagonist or your antagonist, or Angel Reese being your protagonist or antagonist, this makes for good theater. It makes for good content. But there's always one quote from that movie I always love to say, and it goes like this: you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And what does this have to do with Angel Reese? Everything. Because during the national championship run 2 years ago, when her LSU Tigers took on Caitlin Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes, well, she said she either had to either embrace how she felt or become quiet. And in her mind, in every villain's mind, in every good person's mind, you are the hero in your own mind. So she either had to say, let me be quiet and let you run around talking about whatever comes to mind, or let me be myself and I will embrace everything negative, positive that comes my way. There's a 50-50 poll pretty much. Is she your victim or is she actually a genius with all of this controversy? It goes hand in hand with each other. Go ahead and we'll break it all down. Welcome, all sports fans. This is another episode of UnEducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. Got the homegirl PJ here. Let's break down Angel Reese and her rise to stardom. Everything we love about her, everything that people do not like about her. Before I get started, I love Angel Reese. I love Caitlin Clark. I love the WNBA for what it stands for, and I love the attention, whether it's good or bad. I think I'm the kind of person that says all publicity is good publicity, especially for this league that very much needed it. But there's also a lot of unfair criticism towards Angel Reese. We know there's also unfair criticism towards Caitlin Clark, but this is about Angel Reese right now. You know how much I love Caitlin Clark, but Angel Reese either gets a bad break or a good rep in everyone's minds, and we're all different. But let's really dive deep into Angel Reese and how this all really became about. Now, we always get the good, but we also get your bad. And if you look at this one clip, is she an evil or is she good in your opinion?
For when Reese came out victorious. This one not without controversy, as Reese, attempting to block Clark's shot, also delivered a hard blow to her head. As Clark drove to the basket in the third quarter, officials upgraded the call to a flagrant one foul.
If you're just not watching this, you're saying, man, that person is an evil person, right? The way she hit, and it was big controversy because it was a hard foul. But there's also times where you can see that she is just a regular person living her very, very, very blessed life. From the time she was drafted by the Chicago Sky to now as the seventh overall pick, you have got to respect what she is all about. Angel Reese has come in this game and she's played her own game. She is not the scorer of a Caitlin Clark, not by a long shot, but she is also much needed for the WNBA because I've always said the one thing about Angel Reese that you cannot teach is her hustle and her heart and determination. That is God given and that cannot be taught. That is definitely within you, and that's the reason why she can last long in the WNBA. Did I see double doubles for 11 straight games and maybe even beyond? No. But I did see where she could have a lovely career if she decides to even stay in the WNBA for a 10 plus career year. We'll break down every single thing, good and bad, about Angel Reese. I'll tell you why she's both the victim and a crazy freaking genius. Here's why. Let's break it down to the LSU versus Iowa. And we all know about Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, back in the 80s. What sold that? And let's keep it real, y'all. Race does play a huge part in this, where you had Magic Johnson, inner city kid from Michigan area. You had Larry Bird, who was from the Indiana area, all white, kind of country town. Well, those two collided. And let's be honest, in reality, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson are very fond of each other, even to this day, almost as if they were close friends throughout the years. That could be Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, but let's keep it real. The fans right now will not let that happen because they are so divisive, or they're split in between each other, right? And that is also an issue in today's WNBA. But it all sells because we all love controversy. Whether you're a die-hard Caitlin Clark fan, those blue towns, we came from the bottom, or you're a die-hard Angel Reese fan about the glitz and glamour and the lights and the action and all that, those two worlds collide. And that makes for great content and great theater, like I always freaking say. You gotta love it, man. And this is where I believe it all got started after Angel Reese and the LSU Tigers defeated the Iowa Hawkeyes in the national championship 2 years ago. Angel Reese put it upon themselves to mock Caitlin Clark. Now, for those who says Caitlin Clark would be huge by herself, you are correct. She would be main star. But where it went from that to now this crazy, crazy world of the WNBA, yes, you could personally thank Angel Reese. So she definitely wasn't lying, in my opinion, when she says, you know what? I'm a part of this too.
People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
So much respect to her. I believe it. Everything that she says has come to fruition. Yes, Caitlin Clark was going to be a household name regardless, but the fire for the WNBA, you have to have a villain in your mind that sells anything. I've always said this, your story, whether you're the protagonist or the antagonist, your story is not as good as the villain. If you paint Angel Reese as your villain, well, guess what? You got a great one. If you paint Caitlin Clark as your villain, you have a great one. No matter what mindset you think, Angel Reese knows this. And she knows, talent wise, when it comes down to talent of just the pure game of basketball, putting the ball into the hoop, she's nowhere near Caitlin Clark. She gets that. But as far as moving the needle to get your attention, oh, she knows all about that. And I love the fact that she is very unapologetic of what she says. And she just goes for the juggler every single time. But whether you're a fan of her just being the basketball player that we all know that's awesome, or even the model that she could be. You know that there's also envious people out there, but she understands that basketball is not the ending story for her. She has all sorts of avenues. That's why she started early with Sports Illustrated, right? She understands that her physique, her beauty can get her far after the career of basketball. But right now, she's being smart. Use what you have right now, your gift to play basketball. That is what's thriving for her right now. And I freaking love it. As far as Angel Reese critics, Well, they say the double doubles, that's fine and dandy, but she gets a lot of rebounds from her own missed shots. And my thing is, I call that a talent, honestly. Because sometimes if you don't have the angle, just throw it up there because you know that your pure will, your pure heart is going to get those rebounds. And yes, she might get the lower end of the points, 10 points, 11 points, 12 points, but that's still a double double. Last game she had 12 points and 19 rebounds, and it was all dog. And speaking of dog,
You personally started the run that won this game. How do you find this in you each and every time to be such a winner? I'm a dog. You can't teach that. I'm going to go out and do whatever it takes to win, and every single night. My teammates rely on my energy. So being able to continue the energy, even if we're down, even if we're up, that's what I do.
gotta love it, and you have to respect it. No matter what, you cannot teach the dog in her, and I've always said that. But if let's just sit back and unplug things for a minute. Let's sit back. If you're Angel Reese, right, and you know that you're very outspoken and you are the villain in a lot of folks' minds, sometimes you have to embrace it. I think she has embraced that role and she knows what she's doing. All this to say, there is life outside of basketball. She knows when it's all said and done, my name is always going to be coming out of somebody's mouth. Your mouth, his mouth, her mouth, whoever it may be. The talent is there when it comes down to her physical attributes and her will. It's not going to be 25, 30 points. Get that out of your mind right now. She's never going to be that person. But as far as her skill set, she she has a limited skill set when it comes down to her offensive game. But her will and tenacity is the reason why she's always going to be talked about, not only for her controversial speaking, but she backs it up by getting those double doubles, those points and those rebounds. That is not an easy feat to do. If it was so easy, it would have been done a long time. Why is she a rookie and about to maybe break the most consecutive double doubles in WNBA history? This league has been going on since 1997. Think about that. So it's been a long league. But I love the fact that in her mind, she doesn't care. I don't care either. I'm neutral when it comes down to who do I love the most between her and Caitlin Clark. I'm not going that route because I respect both of them because yin and yang. No, white and black. There is no gray between these. It's literally white and black, right? White Caitlin Clark and black Angel Reese. But they have caused an uproar in today's WNBA and just women's basketball in general. You got to respect that. And shout out to Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese for both making the WNBA All Star team as rookies. Doesn't happen often, but these two women deserved it. Here's Angel Reese when she got the news about that.
Well, we won today. We won today, but they just told me I'm an all-star. And I mean, I'm just so happy. I know the work I put in. Coming into this league, so many people doubted me and didn't think my game would translate and I wouldn't be the player that I was in college or better or would be worse and wouldn't be where I am right now. But I trusted the process and I believed, and I'm thankful that I dropped to 7 and was able to come to Chicago, and like it's just a blessing. I can't thank my teammates and my coaches enough for just believing in me and trusting me, and I know all of them are gonna come to Phoenix and support me. So I'm really happy.
Now, today's society is very evil. It is. And people will paint anyone from the outside looking in. I'm not that kind of person. I would never ever do that to Angel Reese or to Caitlin Clark. But we do know from here on out, as their roles and their paths collide, these two, whether you think Caitlin Clark is light years ahead of Angel Reese, or you think Angel Reese is right there neck and neck with Caitlin Clark, you have to respect it. One, branding. You know Angel Reese. She's all about her. The Bayou Barbie and now the Chicago Barbie or whatever her nickname is these days. She's going to use that platform. She knows every time she says something, ears are going to be perked up. I am one of those people who are listening because she's very entertaining. Whether you like her or not, she's here to stay. Is she your victim or is she a plain genius? Let your boy and your girl know in the comments down below. Cause this is far from over, and you have to respect everything about Angel Reese. Look at that smile. You know she's all about playing for Chicago and doing it big for the WNBA. I got to respect it and I got to understand that this is not going anywhere. So let us know in the comments, is she a victim or is she a genius? How do you feel about Angel Reese? How do you feel about Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese? Do you think it's the next Larry Bird, Magic Johnson? Comment down below. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. This is my homegirl PJ. This is another episode of